Today we are going to talk about Google Docs. Google Docs is incredibly useful for submitting your assignments, for taking notes, and we're going to dive right into it so you can learn how to do it too. To access it, you go to the Google Apps, and then you can go down to Docs. Once you're here, you have the option of going to the template gallery. The template gallery has various templates already made for you that you can use and edit on your own. So for instance, if I wanted to make a pet resume, you never know, you may want to make a pet resume someday. I could click on it, I can go through, and I can change this template to match my own pet. Once I have made changes, they're always saved to my Google Drive. And I can also make other changes to this template. Let's say I like the way this template looks, but I don't want green to be my color here. I can always click on it, double click, click on the font, and change my font color. I can do the same thing with my font style and make any other changes that I would like to make on my Google Doc. Now, I'm going to go back to Google Docs and I'm going to make a blank template. One other thing before I show you how to do that, notice that anything you make, any of your other Google Doc items will be located below. So I'm going to click blank. I'm going to title my document so I know what it's called. Once I'm in here, there are a lot of things that I can do. One is the insert feature. If I click insert, I can insert images and I can upload them from my computer if there is a specific image that I have saved. I can click insert and I can upload an image that I find on the web. Just make sure that is an image that you have permission to use. I can also include images from my Google Drive or my Google Photos, or I can even access my webcam to take photos as well. I can also add a table. When I hover over a table, I have the option of designing how large I want my table to be. If I make a mistake and I want to get rid of something, I can always click this arrow here. This is my undo arrow. It will get rid of what I just did. If I accidentally delete something but I'd like to have it back, I can click this arrow beside of it to redo it, and it will put whatever I took away back. I can also click insert. I can add drawings, charts, lines. I can even go and add something called a header and footer. A header will show up on every single page. So if I want my title to show up on every page, I can click add header. And so every time I add a new page, there it is. My title will show up. The same thing if I want to click insert and I want to add a footer. The same thing will happen if I add a footer. And I can also have options for my footer. I could put page numbers if I want page numbers on all my pages. I can also insert links to different websites or the comment feature. The comment feature is especially helpful if you're submitting something to your teacher and you would like your teacher to notice it, but you don't want it to be a part of your document. Your teacher may also use comments to give you feedback. So if you click on insert comment, you can go and leave a comment. So here is my comment, and so whenever someone else looks at it or I'm done with this comment, I can click on the check to hide the little discussion. That's what the comments are. They're little discussions between you and whoever else is looking at your document. Some other features, we have this bar here that gives us many different options. We can change our text. There's various text styles if we want to use one that's already picked out from Google. We can change the font as well. There's different fonts. Just make sure that when you click it, it's selected. I can change the size of my font. One thing to note is if I've already typed, I have to make sure that I highlight the font. I can do that by double clicking or using my left click on my mouse and dragging it across my font. And this button here allows me to make my font bigger or smaller. I can also choose to make certain parts of my writing bold. So let's say I want to make the word like bold. I can highlight it by hovering over it and using my left click on my mouse. Click the B for bold. So now this word like is bold. I can also do the same thing for italics and underline. I can also change the color. I'm going to highlight my font again. Here's text color. I can choose whatever color that I want. And I can also highlight. Many of the features in Google, if you hover over it, it tells you what it is. So this is a very helpful tip when you're wanting to play around with your Google tools, is hover over something and see what it says. So when I hover over it, it says highlight color. If I hover over this part, it says insert link. So if I want to insert a link, I can change what the text says, and then I can put my link in. There's my link. Or if I want these words, I really like this font to have a link, I can highlight them, click link, and type my link. So now, when someone clicks on this, they can go to that website. I can also change the alignment. This is how my words are going to look on my page. So right now, by default, they're aligned to the left. I can click this button here and make them go to the center of the page. Same thing if I want them to go to the left, the right, anywhere I want them to be. Some more useful features you may want to know about, I'm going to change my font back to black, is I can add bulleted points if I want to make a list. If I click here, and once again, like I was saying earlier, if you hover over it, it tells you list. And here's some more bulleted lists. This is numbers, this is bulleted, and I can start making a list. Everything that you do is automatically saved. That's one of the great things about Google Docs. If you are wanting to make a copy of a Google Doc, let's say someone, like your teacher, posts something that is in a Google Doc and you want to save it to keep for yourself to look at later on. You can go to File, Make a Copy. You can name your copy whatever you want, and now you have your own copy of that. Some other useful features to know about is the share button. You can click the share and you can type in emails, or you can get a link. Make sure that you read what it says. Like with this, only people who I add can see this document, but I can change this to where anyone at all who has a copy of my link can see this document. And not only can I change it from seeing it, but if I want them to be able to comment on it, I can do that. And if I want them to be able to edit it, that means make changes to my document, I would click on Editor. So now if I share this with someone, they can go in and type whatever they want and the changes will be made. This will be useful if you're wanting to make a Google Doc with someone else. Maybe you're working on partner work. You and your partner, as long as you both have this link, can make changes. And you can even see who made the changes. So I know that was a lot of information about Google Docs. Like all Google products, they're very user-friendly. Take the time to play around with them and see what you can do. Thank you.